When people cross the threshold of 70, a question quietly appears in the back of the mind. How much time do I still have? It may sound like a philosophical reflection, yet science tells us that our bodies constantly send signals about how well we are likely to age and how long we might live. These signals are not hidden in complex medical charts alone. They are found in the way you move, how you think, the quality of your sleep, the food on your plate, the laughter you share with friends, and the sense of purpose that keeps you waking up each morning. After decades working with older adults across America, Europe, and Asia, I've seen striking contrasts. Some people well into their 80s still walk with steady steps, clear eyes and joyful smiles, eager to travel or play with grandchildren. Others, only in their early 70s, already live confined to chairs, their minds clouded, their days heavy. What explains this difference? Genetics play a part, yes, but lifestyle, mindset, and daily habits are far more powerful predictors of longevity. Scientists around the globe, from Harvard to Tokyo University, from Oxford to Barcelona, have confirmed that the way we live after 70 largely determines whether our later years are vibrant or fragile. I want to share with you 7 key signs that can, with surprising accuracy, predict how long and how well someone will live beyond 70. I'll illustrate them not with abstract theories, but with the real stories of people I have met. Edward from Boston, Maria from Italy, Jonathan from England, Akira from Japan, Hans from Germany, Elizabeth from Germany, Carlos from Spain, Margaret from London, Kenji from Osaka, and Sophia from Greece. Each of them offers us a glimpse into the secret language of longevity. I still remember Edward, a 74-year-old gentleman from Boston. Every morning he put on his coat, walked 2 kilometers to the park to buy a newspaper, and strolled back home. He was not an athlete, nor had he ever joined a gym, but he carried a simple philosophy. As long as I can walk, I will walk. Sitting still too long is like digging my own grave. His humor was disarming, but science supports his words. A landmark study at the University of Pittsburgh found that walking speed is one of the strongest predictors of life expectancy in older adults, stronger even than blood pressure or cholesterol. Those who maintain steady gait speed live longer because walking reflects heart health, lung capacity, muscle strength, and neurological function all at once. Think of it as the body's daily performance test. If you can walk briskly, climb a few stairs without gasping, or sit down and rise again without effort, you are passing one of nature's exams for longevity. I often advise older adults to test themselves. Can you walk 500 meters at a moderate pace without needing to stop? Can you rise from a chair 5 times in a row without dizziness? These simple checks speak volumes about the resilience of your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. Edward, who insisted on his daily walk even in Boston's cold winters, is still thriving in his 80s. Movement is medicine, and the absence of movement is slow decline. But health is not written only in muscles. It is etched in the brain as well. Maria, 78, a retired school teacher in Florence, Italy, offered a shining example. Though she no longer taught in a classroom, she read for an hour each evening, solved Sudoku puzzles, and stayed in touch with former students on social media. Her memory astounded me. She recalled the names of students she had taught more than 40 years ago. When I asked her secret, she laughed and said, "The brain is a muscle. If you don't use it, it wastes away." Science echoes Maria's wisdom. The French Packwood study followed thousands of older adults for over a decade and found that those engaged in cognitive activities, reading, playing chess, writing letters, learning new languages, had a 30% lower risk of dementia. Neurologists explain that each mental challenge builds new neural connections, creating what's called cognitive reserve. This reserve protects the brain against age-related decline. Maria was, in her own mind, strengthening her brain's defense system every evening. I met another man, Kenji from Osaka, 76, who taught himself to play the violin after retirement. He told me, "I am not good, but my brain feels alive when I practice." His neurologist confirmed that his memory and concentration remained excellent, far above average for his age. The lesson is simple. Whether you read novels, learn an instrument, or try crosswords, your brain thrives on challenge. A sharp mind doesn't just lengthen life, it makes each added year worth living. The third sign is often overlooked: the strength of social connection. Jonathan, an 82-year-old Englishman living in a retirement home in Switzerland, embodied this truth. Every afternoon, he hosted tea gatherings for his neighbors. Nothing extravagant, just a teapot, some biscuits, and a warm conversation. Yet Jonathan firmly believed that loneliness was the greatest danger of aging. He used to say, "People don't die of old age, they die of being forgotten." Research proves him right. A meta-analysis from Brigham Young University involving over 300,000 participants revealed that loneliness and social isolation increase the risk of premature death by up to 30%. In fact, the impact of chronic loneliness on mortality is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. On the flip side, seniors with strong social ties, friends, family, clubs, volunteer groups, live longer, healthier, and happier lives. Carlos, a 79-year-old Spaniard from Barcelona, spends his mornings playing dominoes with friends in the local cafe. "It keeps me laughing," he said, "and laughter keeps me breathing." Margaret, 80, in London, organizes book circles with neighbors. Sophia, in Greece, still dances at local festivals in her 80s. These are not luxuries, they are lifelines. Social connection is more than companionship. It is medicine for the soul and indirectly for the body. The fourth sign of longevity hides in something so ordinary we often forget its power: sleep. In Okinawa, Japan, I met Akira, an 80-year-old woman with sparkling eyes and a gentle smile. She lived by a simple rhythm: bed at 10, rise at 5, begin the day with light stretches and deep breathing. When asked her secret, she said, "Sleep well, eat moderately, and laugh often." Harvard researchers confirm her wisdom. Studies show that older adults who maintain consistent sleep of 6 to 8 hours per night live longer and suffer fewer heart attacks and strokes. Poor or irregular sleep increases the risk of diabetes, hypertension, depression, and memory loss. Sleep is the body's nightly repair shop. During deep sleep, the brain clears toxic proteins linked to Alzheimer's, while the immune system strengthens its defenses. Elizabeth, 76 from Munich, struggled with insomnia for years. With guidance, she changed her habits. No caffeine after noon, no screens before bed, and a calming ritual of reading poetry each night. Within months, her sleep improved, her energy rose, and her blood pressures stabilized. Sleep is not a luxury, it is a pillar of survival. Fifth, nutrition. If there is one universal thread among the world's longest-lived communities, it is diet. Elizabeth, whom I just mentioned, eats a Mediterranean-inspired diet: fresh vegetables, fruits, legumes, fish, nuts, and olive oil. She rarely eats red meat or sugary desserts. She told me, "Eat to live, not live to eat." This philosophy echoes across the blue zones of the world: Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, Icaria in Greece, Nicoya in Costa Rica, and Loma Linda in California. In all these regions, centenarians follow diets low in processed foods and high in plant-based nourishment. Sophia, 83, from a small Greek island, still tends her garden. Her meals are colorful plates of tomatoes, cucumbers, olives, lentils, and grilled fish. She enjoys a small glass of red wine, but never excess. Scientists attribute much of Greece's longevity to this diet rich in antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats. Research consistently shows that such diets reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and certain cancers, extending both lifespan and health span. The message is not to chase superfoods, but to embrace balance and moderation. A rainbow of vegetables, modest portions, minimal sugar, plenty of water, these humble choices write the script of longevity one meal at a time. Sixth, the management of chronic illness. Hans, 76 from Berlin, was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes over a decade ago. Instead of surrendering, he embraced discipline: a balanced diet, daily walks, regular checkups. His doctors noted that his health markers resembled those of men 10 years younger. In the UK, large-scale studies confirm that older adults who keep chronic conditions under control can enjoy life expectancies almost equal to peers without those diseases. I also met Margaret in London, who lived with hypertension. She carefully monitored her blood pressure, followed her doctor's advice, and practiced yoga twice a week. At 80, she not only lived independently but radiated calm energy. These stories prove that diagnosis does not equal destiny. Chronic disease managed well is not a chain, it is simply a companion on the road. The key lies in vigilance and self-care. Finally, the seventh and perhaps most profound sign, a sense of purpose. Over the years, I've observed that those who live the longest are not simply healthy in body and mind. They are anchored by a reason to wake each morning. Purpose fuels resilience. Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, once wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." For Akira in Okinawa, her why is teaching calligraphy to children. For Jonathan, it's writing memoirs for his grandchildren. For Maria, it's guiding her book club and volunteering at the community school. For Carlos, it's sharing laughter with his domino partners. For Sophia, it's dancing at local festivals. None of these require wealth or fame. They are simple, everyday purposes that give life color and meaning. Research supports this. Studies from the Rush Memory and Aging Project show that older adults with a strong sense of purpose reduce their risk of early death by up to 43%. Purpose is not an abstract idea. It is a biological force that literally extends life. So when you step back and look at the 7 signs of longevity, they are beautifully ordinary. Steady steps, a sharp mind, strong social ties, restful sleep, a healthy diet, managed illnesses, and above all, a heart with purpose. These are not miracles. They are choices available to most of us every day. If you or a loved one are in your 70s, ask yourself, what signals is the body sending? Do you still walk with energy? Do you challenge your brain? Do you laugh with friends? Do you sleep well? Do you eat with balance? Do you take charge of your health? Do you have a reason to rise each morning? Longevity is not just about adding years to life. It is about adding life to years, years filled with vitality, connection, joy, and meaning. Old age, when embraced with wisdom and care, can be the most beautiful chapter of all. A time not just to endure, but to flourish, to share, and to leave a legacy of love and strength for those who come after us.